the three. Champagny the rebound. 8 seconds left. Fox has it. Ahead to Vassell, who goes in for the dunk. And the San Antonio Spurs have done it. There will be a new champion in the NBA. A new era has dawned. It's Wemby's West. The Spurs are going to the NBA Final.
Look at the emotion from Wemby. Unbelievable. This is what you want to see. A young team growing up on the biggest stage.
The 30th of May 2026 wasn't just another random Saturday night. It was the day where the era of being nonchalant saw its demise. About a year ago, I made a video discussing how much I hated the new era of nonchalance that we were in and how much I wanted to see the world get back to people who care again. And after seeing that Game 7 and seeing Wemby so overcome with emotions as he celebrated, it felt like a huge shift that I was looking for such a long time was finally happening right in front of my eyes. After the final seconds of a grueling Game 7 against the best team in the NBA, Victor Wembanyama had finally won it all and realized his dream of making it to the NBA Finals. And what followed was the most raw display of emotion we've seen from any major athlete in years. He yelled in celebration with tears flowing from his eyes and showed all of his emotions for the world to see. And how poetic was it that on the losing end was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the guy who has been the poster boy of nonchalance for the past few years. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and admit it right now, I was crushed because I'm an OKC fan and SGA is currently my favorite player. Yeah, I know, you can crucify me in the comments, I don't care. But despite my anger, I couldn't help but crack a smile when Wemby was handed that Western Conference Finals MVP award, and he spoke with such genuine emotion and passion about how much this moment meant to him. In that very moment, I realized this was the guy that the new era of basketball fans could look up to. A guy who is overly passionate about the sport he dedicated his life to. A guy who isn't afraid to shed a tear during a big win or even a big loss. A guy who's not afraid to be silly and weird at times. And when you look at the freak of nature he is, and the fact that he is a literal walking cheat code, it would be easy for him to be arrogant and carry himself with an I don't care attitude, but he doesn't, because he realizes that's not who he really is, and that's not who he has to be. This is not the first time he's displayed his emotions to the world. Some people criticized and mocked him for crying after a hard-fought regular season game, and when a reporter asked him why this might be the case, he answered, "That's a tough question. I think it's first and foremost a fear of judgment, like this feeling that you have to act a certain way. Social codes, I guess. Personally, I refuse to carry the burden of having to hide my emotions." Damn. Victor Wembanyama, le philosopher. But in all seriousness, this is bigger than Wemby. This is bigger than basketball. For some reason in the past few years, a majority of society has been convinced that showing emotion is corny, that trying is doing too much. Everyone goes out of their way to look effortless. The reason why Wemby is so lovable is because he doesn't prioritize the need to fit an image over his passion for the game. He is authentic, and whatever thoughts and feelings he has at a certain moment, he is not afraid to let out, even if it might be quote-unquote embarrassing, or even when it might get him in trouble. That's not weakness, that is power. It's cool to care about stuff. It's cool to try and fail and be judged or mocked because you are already 10 steps ahead of the people who never even started. Greatness isn't built from being cool. It's built from genuine effort and passion. Wemby isn't the first athlete to cry after a big win. That happens all the time. But he is the first to realize that there is power in his emotions and he can use them as fuel to be great. And that letting them fester up and build inside of you can cause them to explode at the wrong moments.
This fueled me more than anything else could have. Sometimes this game is so hard. This team is so good that you got to use every single emotion you got in you in order to win. And sometimes these emotions is passion, is love for the game. Sometimes it's anger. Sometimes it might even be jealousy. But I don't want to use weigh myself down with any of these energies. I use them on the court.
I have a feeling that the very same emotional transparency and intensity that Wemby brings to the game and is loved for will soon be the reason why he will be hated. Because people hate what they once loved about you when you start winning. Just look at how much people were rooting for the team he just beat only a year ago. I just know that a lot of people are just gonna start calling him performative, say that he's doing too much, or that he's too this or too that. People can turn on you in an instant on the internet. But for me, provided he stays true to himself until the end of his career, regardless of the fact that he beat my OKC Thunder, he already has tons of my respect and has gained a fan because of how real he is. My point with this video isn't to tell you to go out there and cry all the time and get emotional for no reason, or even to try and be exactly like Wemby. Passion can manifest itself in different ways depending on the person. SGA is labeled as nonchalant because that's what it looks like, when in actual fact, he loves the game just as much as Wemby. It just shows up differently because he's naturally calm, collected, and laid back and, cool. I recognize that some people are just naturally introverted and reserved, and I can relate because that's how I am as well. But if it's merely an act that you're putting on in order to hide your true self and to look cool to others, then just stop. Don't be the person who dims their light just because others hate to see you shine. Be weird, be corny. If something affects you, say it, voice it. Put every ounce of genuine love and emotion that you have in the most important parts of your life, because that's what it takes for them to flourish. This can even apply for relationships as well, whether it be your family, friends, or romantic partners. People who reject you because you can say what you feel and you're in touch with your thoughts and emotions are probably people you aren't meant to be around anyways, because they still carry the burden of trying not to care. And those aren't the type of people that add to your life in any positive way. Don't shrink yourself for the sake of being cool. Doing that only stunts your growth and hinders you from so much opportunity and fulfillment. Being nonchalant is a trap. Love and care about what you do. Give a give all the f***s. But that's all I had to say for today. Tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Like and share the video if you could. Please subscribe to the boy so we can get to 1,000 subscribers. Y'all stay safe and I'm out. And also Nixon 4.